There's the whistle. We're ready to go. Tori Dilfer, the senior, will get things started and serve for the Cardinals. Battle at the net, batted back and won by Washington. Washington had their hands full in their round 2 matchup. They got a bye to round 2. They needed 5 sets to beat a very good Dayton team. Washington had a match point in the 3rd set. It ended up going 5. They pulled it out 15-11 in the 5th. It was tied at 11 in the 5th set. So closing with a 4-0 run to end things. Good attempt to try to save it by Claire Hoffman, and it's a point for Louisville.
Nice connection there by Amaya Tillman and Claire Chassé on the outside. Noting that Danny Busboom, Kelly, Louisville's head coach, continued to ride with Claire Chassé on the outside. She said she didn't quite know if she was going to start Claire Chassé after the phenomenal performance against San Diego, because Nina Mbanu is a phenomenal blocker, and obviously Washington is so physical at the net, but Chassé brings an X factor in terms of passing. Washington is lethal from the service line, so Danny Busboom Kelly said we need good passers in there, and Claire certainly gives us that.
4th season as Louisville's head coach, 74 wins, the ACC Coach of the Year, who won a national title as a player in 2006, playing for Nebraska. So a homecoming for her. Grew up in Cortland, Nebraska, a little over an hour from Omaha, and her Louisville team off to a good start, up 3-1 here in the 1st.
And that's freshman Anna DeBeer out of Louisville, Kentucky, homegrown kid, who Busboom Kelly says is the most mentally tough player that she has ever coached. And as a true freshman, that's very, very impressive. And you like to see that, especially on the national stage here at the NCAA tournament.
The ACC Freshman of the Year, 1st team all-conference as well, Anna DeBeer. Washington gets the point back as Samantha Drexel will head back to serve for the Huskies. Pac-12 champions have won 6 in a row, 17-3 on the season. Number 6 seed coming off a 5-setter, and a service error from Drexel will give the point to the Cardinals. So as we watch this match unfold, Katie George, what are some of the keys, the elements that you're pointing to and looking at that will be a difference with a spot in the regional finals on the line?
Well, I think every team who's made it to this point, to a regional semifinals, clearly has the offensive firepower, like freshman Maddie Inslee there on the outside attack for Washington. They have so many hitters, no matter where they are on the court, that can attack and get the kill, right? We've seen that from Washington already. We've seen that from Louisville. But I think what separates teams as they try to make a deep run into the NCAA tournament is defense and how cleanly they play. We just came off of the Pitt, Minnesota match, which was phenomenal. But we saw both of those teams struggle to keep the ball in play, to take care of it. Those are controllables, right? So I think whichever team today can outdig the other, keep more balls alive, put their team in a position to run back at you in transition, as well as playing clean volleyball, I think comes out on top, and we'll meet Pittsburgh tomorrow.
DeBeer with a couple of early kills for Louisville. Battle at the net. Eventually won by Washington to make it 5-4 here in the 1st. That's Ella Mae Powell, the junior from Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Pac-12 Setter of the Year, a 3-year starter for the Huskies, making their 19th straight trip to the NCAA tournament. That's the longest active streak in the Pac-12. They swept Cal March the 28th to clinch their 6th Pac-12 championship. And a kill. That's Maren Grote, the junior, getting the point to even things at 5.
Nice job by Claire Hoffman. If you notice, she's up under the block waiting for that roll shot so that Ella Mae Powell can go right to the slide to Grote for a nice easy kill with that big seam between the 2 blockers. But a good job by Claire Hoffman recognizing the situation, shifting her body inside underneath that block to make that dig.
Oh, good block and a good read by Washington to quickly send it to the quiet spot on the court, done by Grote.
6'4", you don't have to jump very high, if at all. Nice job by Grote, recognizing the situation, pushing it to the corner.
Broad had 5 kills in the win against Dayton on Thursday. Set it for Ensley, who had the big game against the Flyers. A career-high 20 kills, hit .368. That's Hoffman with the kill for Washington to put the Huskies on top by 2.
A nice job by Claire Hoffman, turning that ball down the line. If you notice, this is a matchup that we should keep an eye on. Claire Hoffman, 6'2", in the front left for Washington, going straight across. Tori Dilfer, Louisville setter, at 5'11".
4-0 run here for the Huskies. Ends with the swing by Anna Stevenson, the senior who has really elevated her game. First team All ACC this year.
Really nice run by Louisville there. Pass a little bit off the net, right around the 10-foot line. Tori Dilfer does a great job getting her feet under it, pushing the tempo, being able to run the slide to Anna Stevenson for the kill.
Her head coach says she thinks she's one of the very best middles in the country. Stevenson getting her first kill. And that one's deflected and out of play, and a point for the Huskies.
Nice job by Drexel, calling for the ball. LMA Powell, great setup in the back row for a nice kill off the hands.
Drexel leading the team this season in kills per set at 3.5, hitting at .288. A couple Louisville players run into each other. And Washington can't take advantage. Had the Cardinals scrambling there a little bit, but it's a point for the Cardinals.
Uncharacteristic communication breakdown there, and as you see, Powell and Cook having a conversation. No, I got it. Just a little bit of a communication breakdown between Powell and her hitter there on the right side.
And overpass, and the whistle goes against Louisville, so the point goes to Washington.
I know it's enticing. It's like a fat, juicy steak right above the net that you just want to go up and grab. But Maya Tillman, you got to make sure it's on your side before you take that swipe. Unfortunately, it doesn't fall her way. Gets called for the net violation.
And now a service error. Second one for Washington so far here in this first set. Serve really helped Washington in round 2. They had 9 aces on Friday, 6 service errors, and 110 total attempts in that 5-setter. So they were not beating themselves with the serve, but already 2 early service errors here for the Huskies. And a kill for Washington to go back on top by 2.
Nice job by Drexel, 6'4", good hang time. She's so high in the air when she contacts that ball, takes that one cross court.
Crenshaw, the libero, with the serve.
Free ball. Great run.
Cashed in by the Cardinals.
Great job, perfect scenario, perfect situation. Pass right on top of Dilfer's head. She runs a quick 1-set to Maya Tillman there. So hard to defend in a one-on-one situation.
Getting some offense out of Tillman, who is the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, good set and hammered down by Maddie Ensley.
All smiles after that one, and rightfully so. Great job by Ensley, turning it down the line. Bodies facing cross court, last second, turns that hip into it to bury it down the line.
Ensley again. And violation, double hit on Washington, so the point goes to Louisville. Hamilton serves for the Cardinals. On the slide, the hammer by Sanders.
I love this run with Powell and Sanders. When Powell's in the front row, Sanders has so much space to work behind her here, pushed all the way out. She's got one block in front of her in De Beers. She can turn it line or cross court if she wants. Sanders can be lethal on that slide behind.
That one's going to go long. I think Louisville may protest it, saying that it was deflected. And Danny Busboom-Kelly will go to the card. So each coach gets 3 challenges for the match. They will add an additional challenge if we go to a 5th set. And Stephen Shepard will head on over to the video review area and take a look and see if there was contact at the net. Again, reviewing a number of challenges, what's reviewable. And right now, they're looking to see, I would believe, if there was contact at the net. So Louisville using their first challenge.
And if you saw, Eric, as soon as they made contact and Anna Stevenson attacked, they all turned and said, touch, touch, touch. Ball was touched on the block, and so they turned to Danny Busboom-Kelly, who then walked to the scores table and picked up the challenge card. The question is, on the video review, is there enough evidence to overturn the call?
One thing we see with this setup in the convention center, officials get their steps in for these video reviews. We've had a few.
Back and forth.
And call is confirmed, not enough video evidence to reverse it apparently. So the point stays with Washington. 2 challenges remaining for the Cardinals. Oh, good block at the net. That's Hoffman and Sanders teaming up.
6'2" next to 6'4". That's a big wall to go against. Great job being unified in their jump, blocking over, pressing.
Washington had 7 blocks in the 5-setter against Dayton. They were second in the Pac-12 this year in blocks per set. That one will drop in. It'll be a point for the Cardinals.
Nice job by Anna Stevenson going solo there, sealing the net in time. Now, if you're Louisville, can you go back to the service line? Put the pressure on Washington's serve receive here. Force them out of system if you're Aiko Jones. She's got a great serve. Get yourself on a run here. String together a couple of points.
Well, they go to the slide again and finding the spot perfectly as Sanders. That's a play that's worked a couple times so far in this first set. That will get us to 15 points for Washington, which gets us to immediate timeout here in the first set. Sanders drops it down. Washington leading in the early going. Welcome back to the second meeting all time between Louisville and Washington. The only other meeting was in September of 1993. It happened to be in Nebraska, in Lincoln.
Whoa.
Huskies won in 5 sets. A little history lesson for you, Katie. I know it was your favorite class in school at Louisville.
Without a doubt.
Out of the media timeout, they set it for Stevenson. So when Danny Busboom-Kelly says she thinks Stevenson's one of the best middles in the country, in your eyes, Katie, what makes a great middle? What are some of the things that you were an elite setter? So what are some of the things you would look in your middle?
Well, I think she's just phenomenal in the fact that she's complete. She can run the slide, she can come around in front, and she's lethal as an attacker, but first and foremost, she's a great blocker. And then she can serve and she can defend if need be. But, you know, Danny Busboom-Kelly has said time and time again, yes, she gets a recognition in the ACC, but what's exciting about playing at this level is the fact that now she can show the nation, all of the viewers, that yes, she can compete and contend across the net with the best of the best. And that's why Danny Busboom Kelly really wants her to show out in today's game, and hopefully if they move on in prior matches.
I'll give a lot of credit to Alexis Hamilton on that last sequence. Had a couple of digs, kept the play alive, and it ended up at a point for Louisville. Another point for the Cardinals. So a 3-0 run here for Louisville to pull within one in the first set. Winner gets Pittsburgh tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN2. Hanging in the air and hammering it is Claire Hoffman for Washington. Second kill for Hoffman. Oh, good swing, and there is Stevenson. Katie just talked about her a moment ago. Stevenson wasting no time to get her third kill of this first set.
And a good job by Tori Dilfer recognizing if the pass is there, continue to feed Anna Stevenson. You want to set your hot hand right now. Anna Stevenson's getting it done from the middle.
And Hoffman's getting it done for Washington. That's her third kill. There's Keegan Cook, sixth season now at Washington, the Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Winning his third Pac-12 championship as Washington's head coach. Fourth trip to the regional semifinals in the 6 years. Point for Louisville as Dilfer will head back to serve.
And now can you push here? Can you score with the serve? Great job there with the two-shoot. I love it. It's a little bit of sneakiness there from the setter with the throw over, but now you need to put points together with the serve.
I think the problem is, and if people
like
have, if people have been following, the matches that Katie's done this year, sometimes when she's
happens.
Giving praise, all right, every time when she's giving praise, and sometimes the opposite starts to happen. I just suggest like getting to the end of your sentence earlier, so maybe people forget.
Stop speaking as they serve.
Yes, good rip by Louisville as we keep it close here in the first set. Best of 5 played at 25. Ada Bartlett will head back and serve it, trying to tie things up here in the first set. Well, Ensley hung up just long enough to get it over the net. Get the point for Washington. We talked about Ella Mae Powell, Katie, how the Pac-12 Setter of the Year really shares the wealth because she has a lot of targets. There's a service error for Washington. That's their third here of set number 1. But Powell's got 3 kills of her own, but Drexel's got 3, Ensley's got 3, Hoffman's got 3, Sanders has 2, Grote's got 1. Really spreading the wealth out.
Yeah.
And taking some of the wealth for herself. Here's Louisville coming back to tie it up at 19.
Great ace there by Lexi Hamilton. Watch the serve just drop right in front of Crenshaw. And that one catches her high. Great movement by Hamilton. Oh.
Powell sets it back. Washington gets the kill. Drexel. And McKellar will come on to serve for Keegan Cook and the Huskies. Calais had 3 aces in the 5-set win over Dayton. You can see good drop on that serve. Louisville scrambling, but you don't scramble very long when you set a player like DeBeer, freshman of the year in the ACC.
She's off the net a little bit. She's still able to take that ball with pace deep into the court. Cross court, great shot by Anna DeBeer.
Jones saved it. And Jones can't handle this one off her hands. And Washington's back in front.
And so if you notice, Eric, the left attacker for Washington is dropping underneath the block. They're coming all the way over, so in case Louisville outsides, roll shot or tip over top of the block, they're right there underneath waiting for it. If you're Anna DeBeer or Claire Chaussee, or an assistant coach for that matter on Louisville's team, you need to be yelling out to the hitter, hey, take it to zone 4, take it sharp, because Claire Hoffman, Maddie Inslee are coming underneath. You're sending it right to them. You need to make them move.
Timeout called by Louisville, with Washington on top 22-20 here in set number 1. The winner of this match takes on Pittsburgh, and what a thriller it was earlier today in Omaha. Minnesota won set 1 over Pittsburgh 25-21, but then Pittsburgh took set 2 25-23. We went back and forth like that in the set, with Minnesota coming up with a big swing. Stephanie Samity played well. Pittsburgh would come up with plenty of answers of their own. Shinaza Ende had 19 kills. Kayla Lund had 17 kills. And I think the best part of it all for Pittsburgh was just watching the celebration, the tears, the smiles, the disbelief we saw at times. Moving on to the regional final for the first time in program history, and Zoe Faki stuck the landing to celebrate things at the end of the victory dance like that. Congratulations to Pittsburgh.
It hurts just to watch. Good for her. They were so excited, and rightfully so. What a battle between those two teams. Minnesota came out the aggressor, but you know what? Every punch they threw, Pittsburgh stood tall, and they came back time and time again. And I just think that Pittsburgh's performance was a mental testament to what kind of team that they are, and deservedly so. They're now advancing to tomorrow's regional final, awaiting the winner of our match right now between Louisville and Washington. But we were spoiled, to say the least, getting to witness the Minnesota-Pittsburgh match. It was great to the very, very end. Had all the drama that you could want, the highs, the lows, and it was an emotional roller coaster. And I feel like we're in store for something similar here.
Also want to point out the play of Chiamaka Wokolo, who had 13 kills and hit 647 for Pittsburgh in the win. So after the Louisville timeout, Cardinals need a point here, and they get it deflected out of play, bringing Louisville back within 1 late in the first set.
Huge play. You needed it out of the timeout, especially going back and forth in transition. Great job by Anna DeBeer finding the outside hands here, tooling this block.
Oh, and a service error, costly for Louisville. Now Washington 2 points away from taking set 1.
Untimely error here.
Second service error for the Cardinals. Washington with 3. Clean serve here for the Huskies. Oh, great dig by Crenshaw. And the block for the Cardinals.
Great discipline by Anna Stevenson there. Washington was out of system. You expect a roll shot. Anna Stevenson stayed tall, continued to press, got the block just in time.
Now Washington will use a timeout here, up by 1 in the first set. Katie mentioned we expect this one to be tight. We're dealing with Coach of the Year in the ACC, Coach of the Year in the Pac-12, leading their teams here to Omaha. Winner of this game will be one of the final 8 teams still playing in the NCAA tournament. The Pac-12 champions from Washington taking on the ACC champions from Louisville. After the point by the Cards, Washington taking the timeout. Huskies hitting .324 here in this first set compared to Louisville's .241. one has really been able to get a lot of distance in this first set. It's tight right to the very end of this first set, Katie.
Which is surprising because look at the kill differential there. Washington scored 17 points off the kill compared to Louisville's 11, and the fact that it's 23-22, a 1-point difference, is pretty fascinating. If you're Louisville, you got to think, if we can just start executing at a higher clip offensively, we should have the lead here, if not then some. Or you could look at that and think, well, we need to start playing better defense and not allowing Washington to just peel off 17 kills.
Washington ended up hitting 210 in the 5-setter against Dayton, averaging 259 hitting on the season. Out of the timeout. Oh, great dig, but unable to save it. DeBeer hustling over. And it is set point for Washington. And I think Louisville will use their timeout. Yes, they have one timeout remaining, so they'll use it here, facing a set point here in set one. So Louisville out of timeouts here in the first set. Washington with the timeout remaining, but set point here for the Huskies.
If you're Louisville, all you need to come out of this break, get a good pass right on top of Tori Dilfer's head, allow her to run her offense, put her hitter in a winnable situation. You execute, side out, and then you go back to the service line.
So set point for the Huskies in this best of 5 at the Convention Center at the CHI Health Center in Omaha. Pittsburgh winning today. Nebraska knocking off Baylor today. Wisconsin knocked off BYU last night to be the first team to advance on to the regional final round. Pittsburgh pulling off their second upset of the tournament. They had knocked off the number 14 seed Utah. Although you could argue that Pittsburgh should have qualified to be one of the seeded teams here in this tournament, considering they had not lost in the spring. But it goes into the books as an upset, and Pittsburgh will move on. Watching this one, I'm sure, to see who they will play noon Eastern time on ESPN2 on Monday. Set point, Washington. Louisville stays alive. Michael Jones will check back in for Louisville, and Washington will use their final timeout.
Just want to know which coach. Sorry, I just want to know which coach is going to win here in terms of the timeout battle.
Really, are there any winners? First of all. Secondly, they're out of timeout, so that's that. Unless you want to burn a challenge and let that double up as a timeout. As we mentioned, both head coaches winning Coach of the Year honors from their respective conferences. And I want to point out, too, that this is the second match that Katie's calling, and then she's going to jump into the studio. I'd like to alert Sam Gore in the studio that your arrival to be studio analyst for the rest of the night is going to be a little delayed because our first match went pretty long. And this match is shaping up to be a long one. So you will join Sam eventually to talk about all the matches going on today and previewing what's to come tomorrow as your long day will stretch into the night.
Yes, apologies for my tardiness, but we've got unbelievable volleyball unfolding before us.
You've got a fair excuse. Set point number 2 for Washington, but Louisville with the serve. Be a great time for an ace here for the Cardinals. They had 5 in their 4-set win over San Diego. 78 total in their 17 matches this year. Washington had the opportunity, and they ended the first set. Samantha Drexel with the kill to close it out in a tight first set in Omaha.
Whenever in doubt, set Samantha Drexel. LMA Powell has such great pin hitters. She gets the pass from Crenshaw. Beautiful back set, quick tempo, right in between the block. Washington gets a 25-23 to take set 1 in Omaha.
Set 1 goes to Washington, 25-23, 19 kills in that first set. Huskies hit 361, so good start for Washington. Louisville kept it close throughout. 6 kills for Drexel in that first set for Washington. She hit 444. So good start for her. She struggled a little bit, Katie, against Dayton. Had 11 kills and 14 digs. Double-double is great, but also had 9 errors. So a little cleaner here in the first set, helping Washington pick up a set 1 win.
A great response from her too, because you know how competitive she is. And not that she didn't play well against Dayton, because she did. She's one of these glue players for Washington that no matter what she's doing, just her presence on the court is important. But you know she holds herself to such a high standard that she wanted to come out today and put together a better performance, at least from the start, and we've seen that from Drexel thus far.
What about Iko Jones for Louisville? No kills in that first set for her. She's number 2 on the team in that category this season. They got to find a way to get her going here in set number 2.
It's like they heard you.
And Louisville gets the first point of set 2.
Great job by DeBeer, roll shotting right over top of the block, just out of the reach of the left front defender. You see Inslee's trying to come over, not quite in time. Oh.
Off the hands and out of play, tied at 1.
That's one you want back, quite honestly. Inslee doesn't put a lot of pace or heat on that one. Just got to get your body and platform in front of it. Don't let that go outside your body. Shank it outside the court.
Calais. DeBeer misses the mark. 2-1 Washington. And McKellar, one of the seniors on this team, Sanders, Drexel. Good mix of veterans and some underclassmen that have Washington here in the regional semifinal round in Omaha. Long rally ends with an error for Washington. Point for Louisville, ties things at 2.
You mentioned Iko Jones is without a kill for the Cards. Can you impact the game in other ways? Defensively, from the service line. There you go with the ace. If it's not working from an attacking standpoint, can you get points elsewhere?
Jones, the redshirt sophomore, first team all ACC for the 2nd straight year.
Nice dig.
Hamilton on the dig. And the point for Jones in Louisville.
Good job by Jones managing that situation. Tori Dilfer hung that ball a little too far in front of the 10-foot line. So Aiko has to reach for it just in time. Great dig by Hamilton here. But Aiko's just kind of trying to outextend her hand, reach, get it over the net. That's just her 4th attempt on the day. 1 kill for her from that back row attack. Just 4 attempts.
And we're going to have a challenge.
Sorry about that.
Katie,
Oftentimes.
Sorry. Nope.
No, you take it.
No.
Sorry.
The last thing I want to do is saying we're going to have a replay here. You know, you can keep going. I just wanted to point out that they are reviewing something from the last sequence here.
So they could be looking at a back row attack from Aiko Jones. Was her foot across the line? But it seems like they're doing something right at the net.
Yeah. So the scores table knows, and challenge is successful. So violation on Louisville. Take the point off the board for the Cardinals. Good challenge by Keegan Cook and Washington. Maria Bogomolova, one of the seniors, didn't play against Dayton. Came in to serve in the first set here today, now making a serve in set number 2. Oh, good diving play. That's Ella Mae Powell. No grabbing that one. Point Louisville.
Nice job in system, running the quick middle attack. So hard to defend, regardless of which side, when a middle is one-on-one.
Stevenson with 4 kills and 7 swings, does have 1 error, hitting .429.
Nice up.
Violation on Louisville. Danny Busboom-Kelly looks over to the referee for an explanation. Stephen Shepard with a quick response. Scores 4-4, no challenge coming here. And Washington has tied it, and they're serving. Point Louisville. By 4 Cardinals after Washington took set 1.
Good pickup by Powell.
Another long rally ends with a hitting error. Point Huskies.
Great defense by both sides, just hanging tough, being patient. Washington there, settled in, looked smooth the entirety of that rally, just waited for Louisville to make the mistake.
Mistake for Washington, and Louisville's ready to take advantage. Claire Chaussee, the 21 kills against San Diego, career high. Hit a pretty efficient .541. I think that's good, right? You've told me that's good.
It's excellent.
10 digs as well.
Her impact in that game was undeniable. She was the game changer for the Cards getting through the second round. Nice dig.
And a kill for Louisville. Blocked back, rather, by Louisville to put them on top 7-5. Well, you know, just finishing the thought on Chaussee. Remember last year, 2019, Melanie McHenry had a knee injury and Chaussee stepped in. It was against Notre Dame. I think we were back in the day where we were in person for matches.
We were in South Bend.
Yeah, we were in South Bend. Seems like a lifetime ago, of course. But you talk about someone who could step in and help a team that made it as far as Louisville did last season. Made it to the regional finals after a win at Texas. In this round last year, Chaussee and the Cardinals, they had a 5-set victory against second-seeded Texas in Austin to make it to the regional finals for the first time ever. Iko Jones had 23 kills in that match. Washington battling back here to tie it up with Louisville at 7.
We had a great swing from Maren Grote on the one quick set, and then a great combo there with Lauren Sanders working out to the outside for a stuff block. And just like that, Washington's regained the momentum of this match. Great defense at the net, great play in the middle, and obviously attacking from the service line here.
This 3-0 run has put Washington in front for the first time here in set number 2. And it's short-lived. Iko Jones, she had a kill earlier, but it was taken off the board on the video challenge, so that right there goes into the books as her first kill of the match.
And it's a nice run. Great job by Tori Dilfer bringing Iko around on a 2-ball here, just keeping her in front, getting it high enough, allowing her to elevate one-on-one against a blocker. She can cut either way.
Point for Louisville. Three errors this set for Washington, offsetting the 3 kills they've had so far.
Nice touch on the block.
Another point for Jones. Louisville with a mini run, a 3-0 run of their own after Washington's 3-0 run put them in front for the first time this set. Oh, great diving play by Hamilton to get there.
Great rally.
Great point goes to Louisville.
Amaya Tillman is Louisville's best blocker. She's not the most physical in terms of attacking, but Danny Busboom-Kelly says she is without a doubt our best blocker, our most natural blocker, and she's getting it done at the net for the Cards right now.
The 4-0 run forces Washington to take a timeout. Louisville on top by 3, down a set in Omaha. Good work all around defensively, hustle plays getting there, and it ends up with a point for the Cardinals. Well, maybe the second set, Katie George, will be decided and determined by who stays out of their own way. Washington hitting negative here in this second set. As a result, they're down 11-8. Louisville at 0-91. So it could be one of those grit and determination sets. And there's a little example of it right there. Great save by the Cardinals. But then we hear the whistle and violation for Washington. Well, Keegan Cook was ready to go over and grab the challenge card, but was kind of intercepted by Steven Shepard. And we won't see a challenge. Five 0 run here for Louisville.
And we had a conversation with Keegan Cook. He felt like his team up until this point had done a great job siding out, not allowing opponents to go on runs. So this is a little bit uncharacteristic from what we've seen from Washington. Usually speaking, when they allow another team to score a point, they side out on that first ball termination. But right now, Louisville's cooking from a blocking standpoint and a defensive standpoint in the backcourt.
$6-0 run for the Cardinals. Louisville's block has been good all season long. First in the country statistically at 3.3 a set. That will end the run.
Nice swing by Inslee, just working it through the block. She's got a big block right in front of her, powers it through.
Back-to-back points for Washington. Point Cardinals.
Louisville's done a nice job on good passes or even fair passes where Tori Dilfer has to work with her feet. She's still forcing that middle, keeping Washington's block honest.
Hamilton's had some pretty good digs here in this second set for the Cardinals, and that save helps save a point for Louisville. Back up by 5.
Great dig by Hamilton on the back row attack, and then the 2-shoot. Right as defenders are heading back to defend, Tori Dilfer throws one over to the donut.
Oh, good block. That's Sanders at the net for Washington.
Really nice job by Powell. She jousted at the net, got back down on the ground, worked herself around Sanders to make sure she was in block setup to set up this block right here. Her and Sanders are in perfect unity at 6'4", Lauren Sanders. So hard to go up against. Great press by her.
Good save by Calais. Powell with the back row set. Stepping up is Drexel, leading the team with 7 kills now. Blocked out of play, and a whistle violation called on Washington, so give the point to Louisville. Cardinals doing a good job, doing whatever it takes to keep Washington at arm's length here in this second set, trying to even things up in Omaha.
If Powell gets a good pass here, look for her to run Sanders on a slide. Fortunately, out of system here. Nice job by Hoffman.
A good save by Hamilton on one end, good effort by Crenshaw on the other. And Louisville is back on top by 5, and Washington will use their final timeout of the second set.
A great response, Eric, by the Cards. After they dropped set 1, which was close, back and forth, they've responded so well here in the second set. Great play there from start to finish. Hamilton with the rundown, DeBeer with the exclamation point.
Is it as simple, Katie, as looking at the numbers? Because in the first set, Washington had 19 kills, hit 361. 5 kills, 5 errors here in this second set for Washington.
I think so, and I also think the fact that Louisville has stepped it up from a blocking standpoint, their play at the net, as that has improved, I think it makes you as an attacker think just a little bit more. It puts a shadow of a doubt in the back of your head, and so every time you go up to swing, it's something that you have to assess, and it's right there in front of you. And so I think that we've seen some uncharacteristic errors from Washington attackers because they're going away from the block, trying to keep out of the hands, and unfortunately, that hasn't worked to their benefit because we've seen a couple more errors from Washington than we saw in set 1, and that's why, you know, currently their hit percentage is not where it normally is. They average around 250 per game, per set. They need to work to get back to that, and I think it just honestly starts with the pass. Louisville's done a nice job from a pressure standpoint, applying pressure from the service line. If Washington can settle in, put the pass right on top of Ella Maypowell's head, she can then distribute a balanced offense like we've seen the entirety of this season. You know, just at the very beginning of set 1, they already had 6 hitters with a kill. She distributes the ball so well, puts her hitters in such winnable situations, but she needs the pass to be able to do so.
Well, there it is. She got the pass and decided to do it herself and get the kill. That is her 5th kill.
Sometimes that's what you need to do if you're pal, saying, you know what, if we've got errors going on or I'm not feeling it, I'm just going to take matters into my own hands. And she's 6 foot. She's got a great vertical. She can go up and get her own points.
5 kills, 20 assists for the junior. Well, good job by the ACC Center of the Year, Tori Dilfer, to work it to DeBeer for the kill.
She's got such good pop on that ball there, Anna DeBeer. You can hear the contact. For a freshman, she puts so much pace on every attack, and you know, it's impressive for her. Someone like Taylor Landfair, right, from Minnesota, who we got to witness earlier play against Pittsburgh. You know, seeing a freshman with so many different tools in their toolkit is really special.
Good effort by Crenshaw to save it, and that one goes long. It's a point for Louisville, and we've seen from the Louisville side too, Hamilton throwing her body around trying to save things as well for the Cardinals. That grit has helped quite a bit here.
It has, and that point was a prime example. Crenshaw throws her body on the ground, keeps that ball in play, and then unfortunately Claire Hoffman's not able to take care of it.
Well, now Louisville is just pulling away 20-13, and Washington, Katie, has used their 2 timeouts.
If you're Washington, cut into this lead. Side out, get on a run, just cut into this lead, try to regain some of this momentum, because right now Louisville has you on the ropes. That's it.
Hoffman comes up with a much-needed point for Washington. And then back-to-back points for Washington with Hoffman leading the way.
Hoffman once in on the block game. Great job here, getting all the way out to that antenna. Look at the press just in time. Great job sealing the net by Hoffman.
Point for the Cardinals.
There's Anna Stevenson again on that slide. Pass from Anna DeBeer right on Dilfer's head.
Five kills for Stevenson and 9 swings, couple of errors, hitting at .333. And a good kill. That's Hoffman again. She's got it dialed up here.
Threading a needle. What precision down the line by Hoffman. Beautiful shot. beautiful control.
Assist number 21 for Powell to go with her 5 kills and 4 digs. Oh, a little change up, but we hear a whistle. And a violation on Louisville will give the point to Washington. So we'll keep an eye on that Louisville bench. They do have their 2 timeouts here in this set as things tighten up a little bit here in the second.
Just like
this
that,
is a key point.
7-point lead. Oh,
yeah, this is a key point, an ace right there, and I think we'll get the timeout. Here it comes. Timeout called by Louisville.
Quickly turns into a 3-point game in the blink of an eye.
You're right, it was 20-13. It was a 7-point lead for the Cardinals, and right now 21-18, so 5-1 burst here. Got to give a lot of credit to Hoffman. She came up with a couple of big plays, had the block, and now's got an ace to add to her total here in the second set. So sometimes you look at a match and there comes a point where it gets a little out of touch in a set, and this is something you talked about before, and you're looking for something to build on, make a good play, make the other team work a little bit, start to turn your attention to the next set. I think Washington has still got their attention on this set right now thanks to this 5-1 run, and rightly so. They're only down by 3 with plenty of time to go.
And that's what's so enjoyable about this round, the regional semifinals, and anything beyond. I mean, we've seen great volleyball through the first and second round, but none of these teams are ever out. You know, we watched a game go to 5 sets between Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Just the first second you think, wow, this game is so-and-so's. The other team comes charging back because there's so much at stake. These teams have been tested time and time again throughout their regular seasons. And a credit to Washington to mentally staying in this and saying, yeah, it's not going well, but we can turn this thing around quickly. And they've been able to do so and string together 4 quick points. And here you go. Now the pressure's on Louisville here. As Washington continues to fight their way back in here and close this gap, Louisville feels more and more pressure on their sides.
Well, Louisville with 1 timeout remaining here in this second set. Washington out of timeouts. Huskies serve. Trying to keep this run going. And deflected out of play. Point for Louisville.
Claire Chausset's 6'2", but she can sky. Got way up there for that one. Contacted it at a high point. Went high hands off the block for the kill.
4th kill for Chausset after her career high 21 kill effort in a 4-setter against San Diego. That's out of play. Great response by Louisville after the timeout. They've turned things back around into their favor, and they're 2 points away from taking set 2.
Great job by Amaya Tillman, spying the back row attack. She goes up by herself, one-on-one solo block out of the middle on the back row attack.
5 blocks for Tillman. Second in the country in blocks per set. That one's going to be deflected off of Dilfer and out of play. Point for Washington.
Nice job by Powell, going back to Drexel. She's so efficient on the right side pin. So hard to defend cross court. Works her way through that block.
Oh, perfect opportunity for Louisville, but Jones can't connect. A hitting error gives the point to Washington. So Huskies not done yet here in the second set. Shannon Crenshaw serves. That one is in for Louisville. Or deflected, so it's a point for the Cardinals. Either way, it is set point for Louisville. Bartlett with the serve.
Oh, Drexel.
Team best 9th kill for Samantha Drexel.
one-on-one, cuts it right inside De Beer there, cross court for the kill.
Set point number 2 for Louisville. Off the Washington serve. De Beer deflected out of play. Point Louisville, set for the Cardinals.
Here we go.
Had a five-setter between Pittsburgh and I'm blanking out now. Minnesota. Thanks, Katie.
It's been a long time on air.
Set apiece heading to the third in Omaha. Washington taking set 1, Louisville taking set 2. Eric Freed, Katie George, and our crew back with you. Regional semifinal round in Omaha. This 48-team field will be down to 8 at the end of play today, with 4 matches coming up Monday in Omaha. Been pretty even, obviously, as you take a look at the score so far. Let's take a look at a couple of the players who have stood out for Louisville and Washington. We start with the Cardinals. Anna De Beer leading the way, Katie. 10 kills, hitting .280 so far. The freshman off to a good start here against Washington.
Just her second game at the NCAA tournament, and she's playing like she's done this year in and year out. Great swings cross court. She's also getting it done at the net from a blocking standpoint, and boy, does she bring the fire for the Cardinals. Anna De Beer with the 10 kills, just 3 errors on a 25 attempts, has been phenomenal, hitting .280 for the Cardinals. Been a bright spot on that outside for Louisville.
On the other side for Washington, Samantha Drexel is setting the pace with 9 kills.
Drexel is somebody that this Washington team has been able to rely on all season long. She had a great 2019 campaign, especially in the NCAA tournament where they fell short against Baylor in the round of 8. She's hoping to get back to that point and push this team through to a Final Four. And she's doing it for the front row, the back row. She's making digs, she's blocking. She's also getting it done from the service line. She's one of those players, Eric, that you can never take your eye off of. You always have to keep track of where she is on the court because she can hit you where you're not. And she's been a great lift for this Washington team. Can they get back to being the aggressor in set 3 is the question. And you see the difference in the hit percentage. Well, Drexel, yes, has 9 kills, but she's also got 6 errors on 24 attempts. That's why she's hitting 125 as compared to just 3 errors for De Beer on the opposite side.
Had 14 total errors for Washington, 8 coming in that second set. Added up, and Washington was 073 hitting in set number 2. 190 hitting for Louisville. So 25-21, Louisville takes set number 2. We head to set 3, the best of 5. First 4 sets. If we need a 5th set, we'll go to 15. First 4 go to 25. We will need at least 4. We had 5 earlier today. That's why this match started about an hour and 10 minutes after the expected start time. You can call it scheduled, I guess, but things are fluid in a tournament like this when you're playing on a couple of courts. Got to wait for the first court to clear. They need time to sanitize it, get it ready for the next match that follows. That Pittsburgh-Minnesota match went pretty long. The Washington bench staying loose. The Louisville court players staying loose. We're staying loose. They're just trying to get the personnel squared away, and we'll be ready to go after the brief intermission between sets 2 and 3. We are ready to go. Tori Dilfer will start things in set 3. .22 assists for Dilfer, ACC Center of the Year. 24 assists so far for LMA Powell, the Pac-12 Center of the Year. Early free ball for Louisville. Powell with the dig. Ensley misses the mark. Point for the Cards. Dilfer ready again. Back-to-back points to start set number 3 for the Cards.
Nice quick set on the one ball to Maya Tillman there. So hard to defend one-on-one. Crenshaw does a nice job getting her platform under it. Just can't get the second contact.
Service error for Dilfer in Louisville. That's the 4th service error of the match for the Cards. Crenshaw serves. Oh, and hammered down, and a point for Louisville.
Nice job by Chaussee. She's going against Drexel and Sanders there, but luckily Tori Dilfer beats the block, gives her just a little bit of a gap there in between the two blockers. She's able to find that seam.
6 kills now for Chaussee. Playing well again after coming in reserve against San Diego and being a spark for Louisville. It's deflected out of play. 3-2 Cardinals here in the 3rd. Louisville needed 4 sets to knock out San Diego. They dropped set 1, 25-14. We joked around with Danny Busboom Kelly as that one drops in for Louisville. What was the pep talk, the message? Coach of the Year material after set 1, because you lose one-sided to San Diego and then you come back and storm back and take the next 3 sets. I think she gave most of the credit to Claire Chaussee and the rest of the credit to her teammates. But also, you know, something she pointed out as Louisville gets another point. They're up by 4 early. The Cardinals had drawn the 7 a.m. practice time for their first day, so they were on the court for only 30 minutes, and she said it took some time for them to adjust to the setup in Omaha before they really felt comfortable, and they got comfortable, obviously, as that match went along against San Diego.
And it's a good point because she kind of admitted, yeah, I expected our team to start a little bit slow. Not to that degree by any means an entire set. But these
Timeout
teams
called.
are creatures of habit.
That's right. Timeout called by Washington. Louisville on a 3-0 run, up by 5 here in the 3rd. 19 kills, hit 361 in the first set to beat Louisville, but since then, numbers have gone down for the Huskies, who take a timeout. The score is 6-2 Louisville here in the 3rd. So the Huskies use their first of 2 timeouts here in the 3rd set. Cardinals with all the momentum right now. They controlled play for the most part in that 2nd set. Stretched the lead out to 20-13. Washington made a couple of late runs, but in the end, Louisville won set 2, 25-21. And look what they've done here in set number 3, taking advantage of the errors that have been piling up for Washington. That one finds the line, and a point for Washington. Ensley with the kill.
Great swing by Ensley. Finds that back line. That's where the difference is, Eric, between set 1, where Washington was so efficient. Yes, they had 6 hitting errors, but they also had 19 kills. So they were earning their points time and time again. This is what you want to see if you're Washington. Clean volleyball, control the controllables, keep the ball in play when it's not there, give your defense another chance to set you back up so you can really go after it when the set is there. Force Louisville to make some errors.
And Louisville just made their first error, their first attack error this set, and now back-to-back points for the Huskies to pull within 2. So after falling behind 7-2, Washington chipping away here early in set 3. And then a block. The run continues for Washington.
Nothing like a couple of blocks or a solo there from Lauren Sanders to get the momentum back on your side and fire up your teammates. You saw Emma Calais red-faced and fiery. That's exactly what Washington needs in this moment.
Setback for Jones, who gets her 4th kill.
Great swing by Jones. She comes flying in there, so high, elevated above the net. She's able to go above and between blockers here. Great jack set, though, by Tori Dilfer. She splits that block there for Aiko. She's able to go right through it.
Well, Hoffman's been the go-to here for LMA Powell. Again, sharing the wealth, but Hoffman now with 7 kills. We saw her get involved in the second set. And really, it is well balanced. That's what Washington does so well.
And that's what's challenging when facing a team like Washington. It's not like you can just key on one hitter and say, hey, let's slow this person down, let's contain this person, because it's coming from every which direction. And when you put your focus on one player, when you put your focus on one player, somebody else is going to make you hurt elsewhere. And now you're hurting from the service line.
Bogomolova gets her 4th ace of the season. It ties the set at 8. 3 aces for Washington. A little off balance. Calais jumped in to save it. Blocked back and then back behind the referee stands. Point Louisville. There's Anna DeBeer to serve for the Cardinals. Katie mentioned 2nd NCAA tournament game for DeBeer. Fight at the net. Saved by Crenshaw. Point for Washington. Hoffman gets it.
Nice defense by both sides here. Hoffman goes up, finds that outside hand of Tori Dilfer for the kill, but we could have a challenge here. Midway through that point, Eric, Louisville was calling for 3 contacts. That Washington had to get it over in 4 contacts, so that's what Danny Busman-Kelly could be challenging here.
So they'll go back into the points to see if they can find violation. It's a very quick review. The review was faster than the walk back and forth across the court.
Now what I want to know is, did Danny Busboom-Kelly's father, Gene, tell her from across the stands that she needed to challenge that?
Well, apparently between Gene and Bonnie, Danny Busboom-Kelly's parents, of course, as we mentioned before, Danny back in her home state of Nebraska, so there's a lot of family around, but her mom and dad are in that crowd there. And I guess they can get a little active and involved as Louisville gets the point here as far as challenges and being line judges on the floor.
Busboom-Kelly said that her dad, maybe it was on Thursday, was yelling, "Touch, they touched it, they touched it." So she said, all right, you know, he's pretty good at this. So I went over, challenged
and
it.
He's my dad.
Of course it was wrong. He's my dad. And then I said, I'm never listening to him again across the court.
Oh, good job by Washington. There to knock it away.
Great awareness there by Grote. Mary Grote spying this back row tag. She's on an island by herself, presses over. Double fist celebration.
Score is 10-10. Now make it 11-10 Washington.
A little bit of a miscommunication there between Tori Dilfer and Claire Chassé. Claire Chassé was coming for a quick set. Tori Dilfer gave it some air, a little bit too high over the top of Claire Chassé's head.
Oh, blocked right back, and Washington's building some momentum now on top, 12-10 in the third set. And sensing that, Louisville will take a timeout.
Great job by Grote, recognizing setter's front row. She's made a step, looks like she's gonna turn it towards me to joust. 6'4" versus 5'11". A little bit of an advantage there for Grote.
So it's a pretty good burst here by Washington. Remember, Louisville had a 6-2 lead early in this set, but now Washington has battled back to go in front 12-10. We're even at a set apiece here in set number 3 in Omaha. Washington took set 1 25-23. 19 kills, very efficient, hitting at 361, but Louisville owned set 2, won at 25-21. And after that early lead here in the third set, Washington has battled back to go up 12-10. And look at the balance here, Katie. We talked about it between Drexel and Hoffman and Ensley, all set by LMA Powell. And then Powell says, I'll take some of that too, with her 5 kills.
Yeah, she gets involved. You know, hitters can't have all the fun. Setters have to get dumped too, and she's done a great job of that. But this just speaks to the balanced offensive attack Washington has, and having a setter, quite frankly, who can get this many people involved consistently. She does a great job distributing the ball, putting all 4 hitters in winnable situations, and then they deliver, which makes it so hard to defend against a team like Washington when you have so many different weapons who can score.
Oh, Washington turned around. Drexel tried to save it, but it's a point for Louisville out of the timeout for Chassé.
Chassé muscles it through the block there. Following up a 21 kill performance against San Diego with another good performance here against Washington in the regional semifinals.
Point for Washington. De Beer into double figures with Louisville with 10 kills. Drexel, the only one in a double figure so far for Washington. That was a nifty little return back over her head, and Washington gets the point after Louisville sends it long.
I appreciate the idea there by Aiko Jones, but in that moment, you're getting a free ball from Washington. Control that first contact, set it up, and allow Tori Dilfer to go and set an attacker.
Jones gets it that time, deflected off of Washington. Point for Louisville.
Good response there by Jones. You just have that error where you take it over with a set, force it too long, they come back to you for the kill. Nice job. Good composure there by Aiko Jones.
5th kill now for Jones. back and out of play. Point for Louisville.
Danny Busboom Kelly said Anna DeBeer knows one speed. Bang, bang, bang. She doesn't like to tip. She doesn't like to roll. She'll just continue to swing into that block until she tools you, and that's exactly what she just did there.
Reset Ensley, who winds and fires and gets it to go for another kill.
Outside to outside, Claire Hoffman with the bump set assist here out of the back row, setting up her counterpart. Ensley through the block, deep middle back, beautifully placed.
8 kills for Ensley.
Great dig.
Oh, good job. Did you say something about DeBeer's speed? Because that was a little bit of a change-up, was it not?
Her head coach said it. I was quoting Danny Busboom Kelly. I didn't say she only knew one speed. Good to know that she's got that in her back pocket to throw up the change-up when needed.
That's Anna DeBeer saying, I've got a lot of tools in my toolkit and I'm only a freshman.
I'm not one thing. Don't put me in a box.
Ensley. Point Louisville.
Just like that, Anna Stevenson seals that net off, and we're tied at 15 apiece. Great job. Look at how in sync Aiko Jones and Anna Stevenson are. 5 kills, 5 blocks for Stevenson.
And there's the whistle. Violation called on Louisville. Give the point to Washington. (16-15). Calais service error, tied at 16. After the Dayton win, Keegan Cook said that Washington's serve was good throughout, one of their best serving days of the year. It's been a struggle here today. The bench scrambling. Point for Louisville. Three aces for each side as Jones heads back again. 17 aces this season for the sophomore. And Washington's going to go to the challenge card saying that was touched. Call on the court was point Louisville. But the officials will go to the monitor to see if it was touched at the net. You saw just about every arm for Washington go up and say it was touched, and looked over to the bench, which is the code to the coach to trust us. Somebody touched us, I wouldn't have hit it long.
And then you saw all hands from Louisville saying, no, 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 no touch, no touch. You couldn't have seen more opposite reactions from the two sides.
Well, normally I would say the tape doesn't lie, but the tape can be pretty inconclusive on some of these high-speed moments where you're trying to see if there was the lightest of touches at the net. And that one didn't take much time. Say it was touched, so a successful challenge for Washington. Point for the Huskies. In this case, the film did not lie. 17-17 here in the third. Set apiece in Omaha. The winner will take on Pittsburgh tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. I think the one thing Pittsburgh is rooting for, Katie George, is a 5-set, 3-hour marathon between
they want
Louisville
legs
and Washington.
tired, just like theirs.
Long points, bodies flying around. Point for Louisville, back up by 1. Here is Anna DeBeer to serve. DeBeer setting the pace for Louisville, and match high 13 kills. Go along with 6 digs and a couple of blocks. And a good serve has Washington scrambling. What a save by Crenshaw, but Louisville was ready for it to put it away, and the Cardinals responding here in the third. Remember, Washington had a 14-11 lead. Now Louisville is in front by 2, and it's getting late in set 3.
Unbelievable pursuit by Washington, specifically Shannon Crenshaw there to send that ball back over the net when our body's going the complete opposite way. Great hustle there. Tori Dilfer, the setter for Louisville, takes a full-on approach and swing on the overpass. That has to feel good as well.
So a timeout called here by Washington. That's their final timeout here of the third set. Louisville with 1 timeout remaining, and the Cardinals in what's been a wild third set, back and forth. Louisville scored the first couple of points of the set. They led 6-2. Washington then controlled things for a while. They would go on top 14-11, and now Louisville has answered back with a burst of their own to go on top 19-17, hoping to keep the momentum going and go up 2-1 over the Pac-12 champions in Omaha. Earlier today, Pittsburgh in a memorable 5-set win over Minnesota, winning the final 2 sets, 25-21 in the fourth, 15-11 in the fifth, to advance on to the regional finals for the first time in program history. They'll take on the winner of this match between the Cardinals and the Huskies. Still to come later tonight, Purdue out of the Big Ten take on Oregon, who was impressive in their win over Notre Dame in round number 2. And then the number 2 seed Kentucky will take on Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky in the regional semis for the first time in program history. In all, 8 teams will advance from the regional semifinal round today to the regional finals tomorrow in Omaha. Louisville a chance to add to the run and add to the lead.
Great job by Anna Stevenson. Watch here, heads up play, goes with the bump set and the assist for Chaussee right over top of Grote's hands.
That ends the 3-0 run as Grote comes back to get the point for Washington.
Great slide run by Grote. Sharp shot right there on the tee of the 10-foot line and the sideline there. So hard to defend.
Here's Ella Mae Powell, who has done it all. Can she do it with the serve here? Well, she did have a good serve, but it was a great response by Louisville, scrambling around, great contact, and a point for the Cardinals.
Claire Chaussee finished that one, now has double digits in kills, 10 kills on 27 attempts, hitting .222 for the night.
CeCe Rush comes on to serve for Louisville. That one will head out and side out for Washington. Point for the Huskies. Claire Hoffman heads back to serve for Washington. That one's going to miss the mark. Louisville back on top by 3. Tori Dilfer back to serve. Oh, great serve by Dilfer. An ace in a clutch moment as the senior delivers.
It's a great drop float serve. As a passer, you're waiting to receive it. It looks like it's floating. It looks like it's going to float up on you, and then at the last second, it just drops right in front of your platform. In that case, Crenshaw was the victim. Great serve by Tori Dilfer.
And Dilfer comes through again. Another good serve. Washington can't handle it, and it is set point for the Cardinals. Dug out. Chance here to end it in the set, but blocked back by Washington.
Great job by Inslee there and Maren Grote. They team up for a phenomenal block there.
Set point number 2, and we'll need a set point number 3 because Washington's got back-to-back points to pull within 3.
Nice serve by Crenshaw there. Can you continue to string together a couple more here?
Dug out, but only for the moment. More like a deflection. So much velocity on that swing. And Louisville makes it back-to-back set wins. They take set 3, 25-21. We head to the 4th set with the Cardinals with the momentum in control. We'll see if Washington can battle back as we head to the 4th. Just about ready for set number 4. Eric Freed, Katie George, our crew in Omaha. Katie doing Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and this match that heads to the 4th. Then heading over to the studio, she'll be working with Sam Gore, going through all the day and the night in what's been an entertaining day so far from our vantage point, because we had a great 5-setter between Pittsburgh and Minnesota, and after Washington took set 1, what's been the difference for Louisville in these last 2 sets, Katie George, to help the Cardinals go on top 2-1?
Well, I think first and foremost, they started blocking extremely well at the net. They got in Washington's head to a degree, which made Washington make some mistakes here and there that we don't usually see. And then they've gotten a big-time performance out of their 2 pin hitters on the outside in Anna DeBeer and Claire Chassé. Claire Chassé on Thursday was absolutely phenomenal. You could not deny the impact that she had in the San Diego match. She comes out here tonight. Not necessarily the fast start that we saw on Thursday, but she now has 10 kills. She's hitting .222. The perfect counterpart to Anna DeBeer on that outside. She's been great at the net. She's sky. She's got such a good vertical. She's also a great passer, and that was something that Danny Busby-McKelly had mentioned. She passes there right on top of Tori Dilfer's head, and then she comes in for the kill. You know, her passing is a big reason why she's in the lineup, because Washington is such a good serving team. But Claire Chassé is having another great match. She's having a great NCAA tournament campaign. And then when you look on the other side with Washington, you know, they've got 2 pin hitters in Samantha Drexel and Claire Hoffman, both with 10 kills apiece as well.
Set 4 is underway in Omaha. On the slide, and a whistle, and a point for Washington.
And Eric, to add to what's gone right for the Cardinals in sets 2 and sets 3, I think they're playing lockdown defense. They're making a lot of plays, yes, at the net with the block, but they're also making touches, slowing the ball down for their defenders in the backcourt, and then they're just making straight up digs back there.
Whoa.
Great swing by Amaya Tillman there. Quick 1 set from Tori Dilfer. It happens in a blink of an eye. It's so quick, which makes it so hard to defend here. Great pass by Hamilton. Quick 1 set, 1-on-1 against Sanders. She goes crossbody for the kill, but when you're defending well, it makes it so difficult to get points, and then that frustrates team. And I think that that's what led to some of the hitting errors that we've seen from Washington.
Then a service error for Louisville gives the point to the Huskies. Oh, man. What do you think of the play of Tori Dilfer so far? 37 assists, 3 kills, 10 digs now, and a couple of aces. But more how she's controlling the tempo and the tone of what Louisville wants to do. Sanders, point for Washington.
Sanders is so good on that slide, 6'4". She obviously has the length to go up and attack. She's also got the speed to get around and beat the block. Great setup by Powell there for a nice kill.
Two Huskies in double figures in kills, Drexel and Hoffman. And it looked like Stevenson was protesting that it was tip, but it'll go into the books as a hitting error and a point for Washington. Bogomolova on to serve. DeBeer. Drexel save, got it over the net. Drexel saves it again. Good scramble by Washington, and it's going to result in a point for the Huskies. Good hustle play by Washington. Gritty play by the Huskies to go on top 5-2.
And a nice job by Hoffman on the free ball. Free balls usually are free plays for your opponent, but she just dinks it right over top of the net, so tightly to the net that it makes it hard for Louisville to pass out of it.
Sanders serves for the Huskies. Down 2-1.
Oh!
Big rip by Jones. It's in. Point for Louisville.
Back row attack, beautifully done. Tori Dilfer leads Aiko Jones, and gosh, does she get up to bomb from the, it looked like a front row attack.
6 kills now for Jones. And then a service error. Second one this set for Louisville.
Couple mistakes, a little bit of a slow start here.
LMA Powell serves for Washington.
Oh, you hate to see it. Great dig by Anna DeBeer. But you got to communicate. Somebody's got to turn around and get that second contact to set up Anna DeBeer. Excuse me, to set up Claire Chaussee on the outside pin.
Oh, and an ace. LMA Powell. Well, we were just praising what Tori Dilfer was doing on one end for Louisville, but Washington setter answers right back with her ace to go along with 5 kills, 33 aces, 33 assists rather, and now an ace to add to the mix. Timeout called by Louisville. LMA Powell trying to build the momentum here in the fourth with Washington down a set in Omaha. Well, let's track. Imagine Katie had like a chart and she can draw a line up. That would be the first set for hitting percentage, and then start the line down, second set, and keep it down for the third set. In the fourth set, it's going off the chart. Hitting 600.
Talk about a turnaround there. 600, not too bad.
And also taking advantages of mistakes made by Louisville. Louisville served 3 times this set, but 2 of those serves have been service errors. Point for Washington, deflected out of play, and the Huskies rolling here, up 9-3 in set 4.
Nice job there by Claire Hoffman, turning it down the line, finding those outside hands, able to tool the block for the point. And this is what's so crazy about college volleyball, just the volleyball sport in general. You've got Louisville, who won set 2, set 3. You think momentum's entirely on their side and that they're going to come out and throw the first punch in set 4, and that's not the case. You've got Washington fighting their way back and now has a demanding lead at 9-3.
Long rally continues here in set 4. Hoffman ends it for Washington.
Relief, excitement, all in the same for the point to end. Great job by Claire Hoffman getting the cross-court kill, and Maddie Inslee, her counterpart on the sideline, couldn't be more thrilled. Inside the block. Unfortunately, Alexa Hamilton can't get on it.
Louisville gets the point, cut into the deficit, now down by 6.
Nice job by Chaussee there, recognizing the situation, 4 big hands in front of her, grabs that ball, tools the block with the tip.
I'd say that Danny Busboom-Kelly's decision to start Chaussee after her performance off the bench against San Diego has paid off. Now Washington gets the point right back as the Huskies go on top 11-4. Hoffman leading the way for Washington today. 14 kills now for Hoffman as she goes back to serve. Oh, great save, Crenshaw. Batted around, kept alive by Washington. And finally a whistle, and the point goes to Louisville. You saw the Louisville bench protesting because if the point ended up going to Washington, I think we were going to have a video challenge by Louisville, but in the end, the point goes to the Cardinals.
You can feel the intensity, you can see the intensity from both coaches, from the benches, from the assistant coaches.
That one finds the court despite the best efforts from Hamilton to try to save another one. Both Libros have been flying around here today. Hamilton for Louisville, Crenshaw for Washington.
They've played some phenomenal defense, and regardless of how good you're playing, that is still so hard to stop. The angle, the cut, nice job by Grote there.
Clock backing out of play, and Washington gets another point back to go on top by 8. And Louisville will use their final timeout of this 4th set. So good response by the Huskies after dropping sets 2 and set 3. They've come out firing here, and they're up by 8 here in the 4th set. Well, Danny Busboom-Kelly coaching the Cardinals here to the regional semifinal round as we begin the day here today, Katie George. Danny's one of 3 female head coaches still with teams going here in the NCAA tournament.
And when you look at that list, Danny Busboom-Kelly has only been a head coach Recently, for Mary Wise, she's been a household name for years. She knows what it takes to play at this level and be successful. And then you've got Jen Flynn Oldenburg, who's a phenomenal player and a phenomenal assistant coach in the Big Ten, but this is her first year as a head coach at Ohio State, and she's taken this Ohio State team to new heights. They have done so well this season, competing in the Big Ten, and they're going to take on Florida later this evening at 7:30.
Really a remarkable first year for Jen Flynn Oldenburg. 16-3, swept Missouri in round 2, setting up that matchup with Florida. Coming up at 7:30 Eastern time. I should say scheduled for 7:30 Eastern time. We'll see how long this one goes as we play here in the fourth set. Cardinals 15-2 on the season, the ACC champions for the third time in the last 6 years, riding an 11-game winning streak and trying to build some momentum back on their side, getting the point out of the timeout. Then Mbanu will head out.
Nice job by Mbanu, checking in, getting a quick kill out of serve receive, and then checking right back out. Danny Busman-Kelly said she felt like she had depth. And if somebody wasn't getting it done, regardless of position, they felt like they could throw Nina, whoever, in to help out if needed.
Well, you can see the challenge card being brought out by Keegan Cook. So we'll see if the point holds for the Cardinals. See if they're looking for a touch at the net here. I mean, the ball was certainly in for Washington. So it has to be that. That's got to be the call. It doesn't even matter what a touch is. That was in by a long shot.
Official made quick work of that. Still not happy that they made the call in the first place.
Well, here's the thing that he's got to be upset about. You know, that one was so far in, and he had to use his last challenge to overturn that point. I can see the frustration for Keegan Cook. If this does go to a fifth set, he'll get a challenge added. And Cook pumped up now because a great point for his team as Washington stretches the lead here to 9 in the fourth set.
And it's sure looking like that's where we're heading. Nice job by Sanders on the slide here. It's pretty surprising, Eric, when you saw Louisville play well in the first set, ultimately lose by 2, but then put together great performances in set 2 and set 3. To see them come out and have this slow start in set 4 when they're one set away from closing this thing out and advancing to a regional finals. It's just head scratching that we're seeing them in this position, but a testament to Washington coming out and having a great response with their back against the wall.
And really, that's the thing, right? Washington in their second round matchup against Dayton, they felt what it was like to have their back against the wall when they got to the fifth set, and they have it a little early here today, falling behind 2-1. So good response here by the Huskies, leading by 7 here in the fourth set. And deflected out of play. Louisville will get the point.
Nice job there by DeBeer. Going high hands off the block. Good for a side out here. So now if you go back to serve, if you're Louisville, can you just string together a couple points? Back-to-back points. Just cut into this deficit a little bit.
Washington gets the point here, ending a 3-0 Louisville run to go back in front by 7.
Good job by Inslee working that through the block. Washington doing a nice job from the back line, passing the ball. Louisville's been applying pressure from the service line throughout the entirety of today's match. But specifically here in set 4, Washington's really been nailing their passes, which opens a ton of doors for Powell in terms of running the offense. Great
Inslee
dig.
into double figures with 10 kills.
Oh, good dig.
Good digs on both sides. The Louisville one was by Dilfer. Good save reflexes by Drexel to keep it alive. Give the point to Louisville.
Watch this
Washington.
dig by Dilfer.
Yep.
Tomahawk save. I love it. Outside the body, redirecting it back into the court. Great defensive play from a setter.
Double-double for Dilfer. 11 digs to go with their 42 assists. And give the point to Washington. That'll be the key now for Washington if Louisville tries to build any runs, just to pick up points, just to keep it from getting to a point where the Cardinals are building some momentum. Try to keep the drama out of this 4th set. So the drama is full on in the 5th set. Bogomolova. And Drexel can't handle the swing from Jones. Point for the Cards.
Nice job by Jones calling for this on the back row attack. And this is going to be important, Eric, regardless of if Louisville comes back here in set 4, which at this point in time does not look likely. You need to get Iko Jones going and comfortable, especially if we're headed for a 5th set.
And again, this is what you want if you're Washington. Take advantage of what's given to you. And Louisville with a service error. That is their 7th of the match and 3rd of this set.
Nice up.
Eight-point lead once again for Washington. LMA Powell puts it into play. Hitting error for... Oh, go ahead, Katie.
Just start to build some momentum here. 1 point at a time if you're Louisville. Just get a run here. Just make Washington think about it just a little bit. If you build a little bit of momentum, you're in a good place going into set 5. You can say this is a wash, forget about it, and move on. That's the beauty of volleyball and the set starting over.
CC Rush on the serve for Louisville. Big swing by Drexel. Tried in the middle. Good job keeping it alive for the Cards. But they couldn't get reset in time to find a way to stop the swing from the right side from Claire Hoffman. Team leader in kills tonight.
So versatile, Eric. She scores on the outside. She's on one rotation on the right side there like we just saw. She goes cross court right to the tee.
That whistle against Louisville. Another point for Washington, and firmly in control here in the 4th set. 21-12 in the 4th. Louisville burned their 2 timeouts here in this set to try to slow things down. Washington hasn't had to use a timeout here in the 4th set. Good bounce back after the Huskies hit 156 in set 3, lost 25-21. They've been in control here in set 4. It's going to head out, and a point for the Cards. Keegan Cook, Katie, you don't want to mess around here. You want things just to get wrapped up as soon as possible. That's one way to do it.
Exactly. Don't play with your food. Just finish your meal, get to the bench, regroup, refocus for set 5.
I knew you would find just the perfect description to sum up how Washington should handle things here in the 4th set. Well done.
Thank you.
There's the block, and Washington is up by 10, 2 points away from a 5th set in Omaha. I think there's been a couple of plays here that Washington, maybe in normal circumstances, would have challenged with video challenge. We've seen the bench a couple of times and the players react to, well, that may have been tipped, but they're out of challenges. They will get a challenge for the 5th set that could come in very handy. Remember, in their 5th set against Dayton, that was an 11-11 match in the 5th. Washington closed things out with a 4-0 run. And they're about ready to close things out here in set number 4 against Louisville.
Alexis Hamilton, the libero for Louisville, bringing everybody in, having a talk with them right before this set point.
Blocked down, and Washington, in the words of Katie George, they finished their supper. They didn't play with their food. That 4th set went by pretty quickly, but now what do? We get ready for our second 5th set of the day, and this will be the first 5-setter for Louisville in their split season. They had a fall season and a spring season. They go to 5 for the first time, and they'll do it when we come back. Washington wins set number 4, 25-14. Set 5 is next. Ready for a 5th set. All Washington in that 4th set. After Washington took set 1, Louisville comes back. They take back-to-back sets, but no contest in that 4th set. Now we have to see what's going to happen here in the 5th set. Can Louisville just turn the page, Katie George, and leave it behind what happened in the 4th set? Does Washington feel like they've got all the momentum? These early points feel like they can be important.
Washington certainly has all of the momentum after a dominant set 4 performance, 25-14. If you're Louisville, you were just having a conversation with your head coach, Danny Busboom-Kelly, on the sidelines. Forget about it. You have to turn the page. You've never played in a 5th set. Don't worry at all about the defeat in set 4. Just focus on what's next. Coming out, winning the first small game to 5, the second small game to 5, which would be 10, and then win to 15. This is such a short game that I guarantee is going to go back and forth, back and forth. You've got a clean slate now if you're Louisville. Do you have the mental stamina to get past what just happened in set 4 and restart as if you're playing one set here to 15? That's all. That's it. And then you get a berth to a regional final, whether you're Washington or Louisville. We already witnessed one of these. I can imagine it's going to be just as great.
And I think you would agree that Dan Fisher's wish was granted, that this would be a long, hard-fought 5-setter. Pittsburgh head coach and his team watching, getting ready for the winner of this game tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Time. Noon Eastern on ESPN2. 5th set is underway. We played a 15. And it starts with a good block, and that's a good way to erase what happened in the 4th set if you're Louisville.
Certainly a great refresh, reset button. Claire Chassé gets up big for the block at the antenna. Nicely done. Great dig.
A good dig by Hamilton. And then a whistle called on Washington. Give the point to Louisville. Good start for the Cards here in the 5th.
Nice save by Powell there.
Yeah, but Washington's out of sync, and Louisville got quickly back into the sync that we saw in set 2 and set 3. Another block, another point for Louisville. And a timeout will be called here by Washington early in the 5th set. Fourth set, distant memory for the Cardinals. Timeout in Omaha. Louisville comes out swinging in the 5th set, and they deliver a couple of haymakers to Washington, forcing the Huskies to call a timeout, Katie. 4-0 already.
I feel like I'm watching Jekyll and Hyde here. They couldn't buy a point in set 4, and now they've been swinging ever since. First punch thrown immediately right out of the gate here in set 5.
Blocked back, and another point for Louisville. 5-0 Cards.
You know, you look at the stats right now. Iko Jones hasn't had the offensive performance that you would hope for, hitting 0-48 on the day, 8 kills, 7 attacks. But this is what she does. She blocks, and she's a force at the net.
What a service run here by Tori Dilfer to start things in the 5th set. Comes to an end finally. So make a note of it. Louisville scored the first 5 points of the 5th set. Can the Cardinals get a side out here against Washington? Or can the Huskies build a little momentum? What a save made on the dig by Crenshaw, but it's a point for the Cards.
Great pancake by Crenshaw to get up underneath the 2-shoot by Iko Jones. Unfortunately, her teammate gets blocked deep into the court there. And if you're Washington, you're currently on your heels, right? Louisville is the aggressor. They've got the lead. Plenty of time if you can side out efficiently and get on a serving run. How do you respond with your back against the wall if you're Washington?
Good serve from Bartlett. Well, it starts with getting the serves in here for Louisville. They have not hurt themselves from the service line here in this 5th set. Bartlett comes through with a good serve, and it's another point for the Cards.
Such good defense here at the net. Louisville's a blocking machine here in set 5. Statistically, they're the best blocking team in the country. Danny Busboom-Kelly kind of laughed, said, I don't like that label. I think we're one of the best blocking teams. I don't know if we're the best, but we certainly can get points that way, and they're doing so right now.
Good swing and the kill for Ensley.
Not that time. Maddie Ensley straight down the line past Anna DeBeer. Great swing, great pace and pop on that one.
Washington was in a 5-setter on Thursday. Pulled it out against Dayton.
Communicate. Free ball.
Somehow kept alive. Diving play made by Bartlett, but it's a point for Washington.
Nice job by LMA Powell there, recognizing defense is starting to move back to their base positions. Let me sneak in a dump here. Got Louisville on the run.
Get used to seeing this here in the next few points. Teams going all out here in this 5th set. Their season's on the line. The winner moves on to play Pittsburgh on Monday. Season ends for the team that comes up short here in the regional semifinals. There's the block from Washington. We've seen the Louisville block be a difference. Now Washington trying to dial up their block a little bit, and Louisville will call a timeout. Cardinals had a 7-1 lead here in the fifth. 3 unanswered points for Washington to pull within 3. Well, the beauty of this right now, Katie, is we don't know which team will be celebrating at the end of this 5th set. It'll be tough to match the celebration we saw earlier, but when you win a 5-setter, all the emotions flow out. We saw that with Pittsburgh earlier when they pulled out the 5-set victory over Minnesota. They were down 2-1, won set 4, 25-21, and came back to win set 5, 15-11. And when it was all over on that final swing, they were storming the court to join their teammates. You see the wide eyes, the disbelief on some of the faces. Believe it, Panthers, you're going to the regional final for the first time in program history. What a great scene earlier in Omaha.
It was phenomenal. And the splits at the end. Zoe Fockey, you better ice or stretch. Good Lord. Still got games to play, girl. Awesome scenes here earlier in the Minnesota Pitt match. It was a phenomenal 5th set. You feel joy, you feel relief that it's over. You feel exhaustion because these girls are working so hard. You just want it to be over and you want to be victorious. And so we're going to find out who here as Washington is starting to build a comeback.
So one team will have a Pittsburgh-like celebration in a matter of minutes. Will it be Louisville? Will it be Washington? Louisville's controlled things here in the 5th set. Washington battling back, and then the big swing on target for the kill by Jones.
Great job by Aiko Jones going inside the block, deep cross court past Drexel there. Right on that line, great swing. Awesome dig.
Louisville is ready for the slide from Sanders. Great save, reaching out by Crenshaw.
Both sides playing some phenomenal defense. Again, Crenshaw. Oh. Nice pursuit by Washington there. Almost has it with that right hand extended. Unfortunately, just can't bring it back into the court. Smart.
Deflected off of Washington, drops in. Another point for Louisville, closing in. 10-4 in the 5th. Timeout, Washington. Well, Aiko Jones got off to a very slow start, Katie George, but sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And
Without a doubt.
She is finishing like a champion right now for Louisville.
Without a doubt. She's finishing strong. She started off this set with a couple of key great blocks. And to your point, we just saw the kill to the back line. Smart heads-up play there, recognizing Washington's defense is all sucked in close to the net. And she just dinks that over top of their head deep in the court. And you know, she's got 10 kills, which to most people, well, it looks like a good day. But you know, you compare that with the 7 errors that she has, she's only hitting 120, which isn't what we normally see from Aiko Jones. But the fact is, she's getting points right now in the biggest moment when Louisville needs it most. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter about the hit percentage. Doesn't matter that she wasn't getting kills in sets 1, sets 2, sets 3. She's getting kills in sets 5. That's what matters, how you finish.
To your point, she didn't have a kill in set 1. She didn't have a kill until midway through set 2, but showing some great resolve, determination, pumping up her teammates pumping her up as she comes onto the floor here with her team on top 10-4. And the message has got to be keep the foot on the gas here. And for Washington, they need to go on a run. Down by 6 here, 3-0 run right now for the Cards. Now they go to a familiar move. Sanders with the kill.
Great efficient run when the pass is there. MMA Powell finds Lauren Sanders when they're in the front row together on that slide. So hard to stop.
Now can Louisville get a side out and stop Washington from going on any kind of run? The answer is yes. DeBeer, the freshman, hammers it down.
Great swing down the line. The window's so small between the hand and the antenna, and she's still able to find it. Great control there.
There's Jones with the save. DeBeer with another rip and another dig by Crenshaw. That one goes long. And they say it was deflected. Correction, so give the point to Washington.
Deficit may be 5 here, but crazier things happen in the 5th set. All it takes is 1 or 2 good serves for Louisville to feel the pressure, and Washington's right back in this thing.
Bogomolova, been a serving sub, and she comes up with an ace when Washington could really use it. That's her second ace. Senior from St. Petersburg, Russia. Settles in, can she make it back to back? Works out for Washington, 3 straight points. Senior handling things on her terms and in her good time. Slowly moving back and ready to serve again. They set DeBeer, and DeBeer hammers another one down. Oh, no, they're going to say it's point for Washington.
Just a little bit wide there, trying for that line shot again. She just had success. Just cuts it a little bit too far and too wide.
So it was wide. It's a timeout for Louisville, their second and final timeout of this 5th set. Washington with 4 unanswered points, Katie.
You asked for drama, you predicted it, and here we are. Louisville looked like they had the 5th set in hand. They were a blocking machine. First 6 out of 7 points were from blocks. But then Washington's fighting their way back, clawing their way back into this thing, knowing that the regional final is at stake here. And now we've got a 2-point game. Anything can happen up until this point, at this point.
Set 1 went to Washington. Sets 2 and 3 went to Louisville. Set 4 was all Washington. And it was a great start for Louisville, answering back after that poor 4th set. Here in set 5, they scored the first 5 points of the 5th set. They had a 7-1 lead here in the 5th, but Washington has used a couple of runs here in the 5th set. They had a 3-0 run, and they are currently on a 4-0 run to come within 2, and still with the serve with Bogomolova. (11-9) Louisville. We played a 15. Need to win by 2, of course. Timeouts are gone for each team.
Big serve coming up here.
Calais with the dig. Deflected off of Louisville. Point Washington, 5-0 run.
Really nice job there by Claire Hoffman, recognizing the set. She just takes a little bit of pace off of it, controls it places it high over top of the hands. Aiko Jones can't make the play on it.
Now the pressure turns squarely onto Louisville, even though the Cardinals still have the lead. Another good serve. Hoffman ties it at 11.
And you can tell Louisville's starting to tighten up a little bit. Hitters are taking something off their attacks, not going full out. Great dig by Bogomolova. But right now, Washington has all the momentum and they are the aggressor. If you're Louisville, how do you respond in this moment? Can you relax and pass and ultimately execute with a kill?
Another good serve, and what a service run for the senior Bogomolova. Her second ace of this run. Washington has come back from 7-1 down to go in front 12-11 here in the fifth.
Unbelievable serving run from Maria here.
That ends a 7-0 run, but even though it ends with a service here,
she deserves a smile and a hug. I hear you on that.
Look at the look on her face, like, I can't believe that just happened. What a performance. Oh my gosh.
Good for her. Well done.
12-12. Hoffman, tipped, saved, still in play. Point Louisville, and now the pressure turns.
Good thing Anna DeBeer was playing deep in middle back. She's able to get her hands on the pass. Tori Dilfer sends it out to Chassé. Chassé kind of mistimes it. Miss-hit ends up falling in the court.
Now the freshman DeBeer. Hammered down, and Washington ties it. Grote with the kill.
Great run by Powell. She had the pass, sends Grote behind on the slide.
13 all here in the fifth. Washington serves. Blocked down, match point for the Huskies.
Huge block, textbook there against the slide and Anna Stevenson.
It misses the mark. Washington comes from 6 points down in the fifth set to win the match and advance on to the regional finals. And it would not have happened were it not for the service run by Maria Bogomolova, who is in tears on the floor right now for Washington.
Rightfully so, Eric. What an emotional roller coaster. Early in set 5, you think you're done. You think this is it. This is where the road ends for us. We're not staying in Omaha. And then Maria checks into the match and gets it going with her serve and marches this Washington team back to tie it up at 11. And what a finish from a block standpoint and going up and getting kills. A testament right here, right now. You are never out of a match, ever. Well done by Washington.
Heading into this match, the senior from Russia had 3 aces this season in 29 sets played. And in the biggest set of the season, she comes on, goes on a service run. It was part of a 7-0 run overall And I think the receiving line is going to go on and on all night long here to pay tribute to the senior who came through it. Doesn't really want to leave the floor, but Maria, you will be on the floor tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, against the Pittsburgh Panthers as Washington wins it in 5 sets over the Cardinals. 15-13, the final in the 5th and final set. Louisville had a 7-1 lead, but Washington did not give up. Thanks to someone who played a supporting role this season, but she played a starring role in the 5th set for Washington. So the bracket gets filled in a little bit more. Pittsburgh wins in 5 sets. Washington wins in 5 sets. It will be the Panthers and the Huskies Monday noon Eastern time on ESPN2, and still plenty of volleyball to come tonight with Purdue and Oregon, Western Kentucky and Kentucky. Katie is heading over to the studio to join Sam Gore. I'm sure you have plenty to talk about the other matches going on, Katie, but you saw some pretty good ones here today with a couple of 5-setters.
Yes, we did. We were spoiled. Thank you so much for a great afternoon of volleyball. To Pitt, to Minnesota, to both these teams, Washington and Louisville. Well done. My hat is off to all 4 of the teams for just phenomenal performances in back-and-forth matches.
For Katie George and our entire crew, I'm Eric Freed. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations to Washington, heading back to the regional final.